Welcome back to Pretty Clever, where we are pretty.
And we're clever. Okay, it's already our 6th episode, surprisingly. It's a lot.
6 episode
Also, we went viral again.
Yes,
this time,
we actually did.
This time for a good cause, People actually like the fact that they just learned that the brain is developed
At 32.
fully developed at 32. A few people were trying to argue about it, but I gave them a counterpoint from a Reddit that explained it much better than me. So yeah, but it was surprising. A lot of people were like, "Oh, and now I have more reasons to
To
make."
be dumb.
Yeah,
Reasons to be dumb. Lebih kurang macam I lah.
Faham.
I faham juga.
yeah. I mean, both of us, like for me personally, sebab I chose that topic sebab I was turning 30, so I macam I don't feel like I'm turning 30.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
So
But it's kind of funny. It's actually kind of funny because like macam imagine kan, because I'm turning 31 this year. Soon enough. I know.
I forgot,
soon
yeah.
enough. Soon enough. Nak jadi 31. And I rasa macam, I don't know, I still feel the youngest, I must say.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a healthy, I don't know, mindset or a frame of mind, I would say.
Yeah lah, it's a bit too much lah.
No lah, I mean
It is
it's
what
good
it is.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. Okay.
31 it is crazy.
Okay.
Aduh. Oh yeah. Okay.
So for today, last time we talked about doom scrolling and attention spans, our attention span deteriorating. Today we're going to talk about doom spending. Okay.
Oh, everything is about dooming.
No,
Everything is about
because
dooming.
the world is coming to an end soon, so that's why kiamat nak dekat.
Betul. Memang sangat nak dekat.
Yeah.
Dia
So
punya apa nama benda tu?
apa?
Apa?
Tanda-tanda.
Tanda-tanda dia macam makin banyak ada tanda dia.
Actually betul jugalah.
Yeah, you know when we learn in agama, I had to take like 2 tuition for that. It says that memang dekat lah.
Okay guys, ambil lah masa ni untuk bertaubat sikit. InsyaAllah mungkin
Amin.
InsyaAllah mungkin minggu depan kita akan cuba membuat episod agama pula.
Please, I'm waiting for that.
Is
at
it
one point.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Oh.
generally, I would love to have a religious conversation.
But it's related a bit of a science or a study, right?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
We can make it that work.
Religious, psychology, philosophy.
Okay.
I think that would be so fun.
Okay.
Mm.
If you guys have any idea what we could talk about next, sort of spiritually or religious wise, let us know, because I think that would be an interesting topic as well.
Actually, that's true. That would be really, really nice, to be honest.
Okay, going back to today's topic, it's doom spending. So, what does doom spending actually means? It means that you are spending money despite economic concerns or despite not having enough income as a way to cope with a perceived bleak future. Maksudnya macam you're like, oh, the future is so bleak. So instead of me saving to
Why
actually
not I spend?
exactly.
Why not I spend?
It's like alang-alang menyeluk perkasam, biarlah sampai ke pasar.
Wow! I like that.
Come on lah.
I like that.
It's like alang-alang I'm broke, why not? Making myself broke is not gonna get
Baik
me.
kita broke je terus.
Yeah,
Faham. Hence, as to why I cakap, making money is very vital.
Faham. Memanglah vital, but it's not a good thing actually. But we'll go into it later. But
What do you mean? Money is good stuff.
but okay, when do you doom spend? And what do you doom spend on mostly?
That is the question.
Yes.
When do I doom spend? Almost all the time. But masalah dia kan, bukan masalah. I rasa kan the way how I doom spend kan is that I put a budget where I macam titik je.
Maksudnya macam mana?
Okay, so imagine lah, let's say I have a certain amount of money, certain like X amount of money, right? Regardless sikit or banyak, X amount of money. And then I put it, okay lah, back then that was my London habit lah. Since in Malaysia I don't have multiple cards, but what I do is that like usually X amount of money would be placed in a different bank account.
Okay.
And that is me going out and titit.
Faham? And then the other card, what do you have?
The other card is for basically savings as well as for paying all the other essentials.
Faham.
But that idea is where I do not think. If I want a horse, I buy a horse. That's it. And what happens after that? That is my doom.
Faham.
And like, what do I spend now? Okay lah, be realistic a bit. So, usually on food.
Okay.
Food, I must say. Apa lagi? Skincare dah tak sangat dah.
Skincare tak sangat. But like
Tak sangat
hair care,
dah.
I think sometimes I see you macam go to hair
Tapi
salons,
tu
but not not often, is it?
Oh, recently,
Ah.
recently I do. I dah start banyak dah nails
Okay.
balik,
Okay.
nails, cabut bulu,
Okay.
all the kind of bulus really, especially like my ni
Please
brows,
don't
my
DM. Okay, I was
brows, my
like,
brows.
okay, thank God.
No, apa lagi? That hair no. Apa lagi ah?
Facial ke or anything, do you?
Which I belum start lagi tau. I
Okay.
kind of need to try because masa dekat London, I banyak beli skincare. Because the purchasing power is a bit stronger when we were in the UK tau. But now in Malaysia, I need to like try to macam understand that I have to spend 3 figures. So like the doom punya
It's too much doom.
spending. Tak cukup dooming tau. I don't feel that enough doomed. So basically, my purchasing power is lower. So I boleh only spend on sikit amount.
Okay.
Kalau dekat UK, I boleh spend a lot
so
of
you
amount.
can't doom spend as much here compared to back in the UK. Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, faham.
How about you?
I doom spend bila I stress kot.
Yeah.
Or like I am having an identity crisis, which like maybe every month. So recently I also had an identity crisis because macam, oh, people actually look at me when I'm like sitting and then whether
Oh,
so I was like, oh,
faham.
and
Dude,
then
just make yourself look hotter,
Yeah.
dude. That's it, dude.
if only boleh petik jari and then terus jadi macam tu. But like, so when I had an identity crisis, I'm like, oh my god, do I have to glow up? And then that's when I'm like, oh, maybe I should start
Kita
spending.
nak pergi gym after
That's
this.
when I go to Shopee and I'm like, what shirt should I buy? What new clothes should I buy? What tudung should I buy?
Faham.
Yeah, and then I start
Faham.
adding all these things. Tapi I tak check out lagi lah. But I'm like, usually that's when I feel like doom spending. That's one. Another thing is when I'm stressed on food lah. Like I'm super stressed. Oh my god, what's blah, blah, blah,
And
and
you
then
suka something sweet as well, kan?
that's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm a
dessert. Tapi
very
dessert Alia tak ada dekat Malaysia sangat.
yeah, but I'm a very sweet too lah. That's the thing. So
Mm.
macam
What do
when
you
I'm
eat
stressed-
kat Malaysia?
kat Malaysia, kalau sweet tooth. Oh, I love this was in my bio in Notion. If you guys actually read it, I love Family Mart.
Yes, you
I
did
love
say
Combini,
that.
yeah.
Dengan apa lagi satu yang
Ada
cookie
ice
tu?
cream. What do you call it? Ada ice cream matcha kat situ, and it's the best ice cream matcha I would say
Really?
for me lah.
Hmm?
I mean, for it to be affordable price, I would say it's quite affordable. It's not like super high end, but for me the matcha ice cream is really good for that price lah.
Oh, that's nice. I
Yeah.
need to explore more. Only recently I baru faham that kita boleh duduk. You tahu tak kat Cura pun you boleh duduk kat tepi. And then Family Mart pun you boleh duduk kat tepi. So meaning that you buy stuff.
Cura. CU Mart.
No,
CU Mart. Cura is the name of a skincare.
no,
Apa?
bukan. Cura. Alah, tempat yang kita nak makan. You know that shopping place tu Cura kan?
Mana dia Cura nama skincare?
Cura.
I've never heard of Cura.
Dude, there is Cura.
Oh, someone okay. My team just showed me Cura. I've never heard of Cura.
No, Cura is like tempat you beli coconut. Okay lah, I buy coconut
Sorry,
lah.
I beli coconut kat tepi jalan. Bukan nak cakap apa lah. I buy. I mean,
But yeah. And then but I just realized that we can actually sit outside.
I see. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I've never been to Cura, so I don't know.
It's like
But
Family Mart juga.
is it okay?
Hmm.
Okay.
Basically.
It's like is it CU Mart? Are you talking about CU Mart?
CU Mart ke?
Ada CU Mart. CU Mart is
Dekat
also
tepi juga.
ada. Yes. CU Mart is also like E-Mart, also like Family Mart. Yeah.
I love the fact that in Malaysia we can actually just sit by the side macam tu tau. You just order. Macam semalam I baru, you tahu tak, okay. I baru balik yoga semalam.
She's like, everything is activated.
My word for this week is activated. Right?
My body is activated.
I've been
You
activated.
should go activate your muscles. I was like, oh my god, this girl.
My rib cage was activated.
Okay.
That cikgu cakap I kena breathe in, breathe out. I pun activate lah semua segala activation kan.
Okay, lepas tu?
So after activation, I actually went to 7-Eleven to makan noodles.
And then?
Pergi before I datang actually.
Uh-huh.
So I pergi makan noodles and then I never realised that we can actually sit by the side kat 7E.
Oh, boleh
It's
yes.
so sick, you know. Mana dekat UK ada.
Tak
Like
adalah,
macam
yeah.
banyak
There's no
gila.
Combini.
Yeah.
But dekat UK memang tak ada Combini. That's why I love Combini.
It's so
Like-
fun. I love it.
Yeah. So for me, I would spend on food. Kalau like sweet tooth kan, you tanya I recently I found cookie crumbs, which is great. Could
That's
be
the one that you
it could be a replacement for my creme apa creme punya
Kat London,
keringinan kat London. I still have not find Mama Sans, but Yeah, mostly it's pastries. I also like pastries like tart or whatsoever. Memang
Where can we get Mama Sans? Memang tak ada kat
like,
Malaysia.
I haven't found one yet. I will let you know.
That would be so nice to actually doom spend on it.
Doomspend.
Doom spend on Mama
Doomspend
Sans.
on Mama Sans.
Have that yam.
Sedap.
Sedap.
Anyways, but yeah, for me it's like when I'm stressed and then I buy a lot of food lah. I rarely doom spend maybe a bit on baju but kurang sikit. Yeah.
Ya, baju I tak banyak sangat lah actually kat Malaysia.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah, baju tak banyak sangat. But I think like my mom is a bit gila lah. She loves to spend on clothes.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
she really does. That's probably her doom spending. Not gonna lie, that's probably her doom spending.
Some people, yeah.
Yeah, and
will
then the
also be,
excuse that she would have kan, oh, it's for you, Liz. Hey!
I faham aunty.
Tapi you pakai duit I kan?
So dia yang pakai ke you pakai?
I yang pakai.
Oh, okay lah.
At the same time, dia pun ada yang pakai.
Faham.
But then she
Like
would make it.
kongsi lah. That's sweet though. It's like you kongsi baju dengan your mom. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes because it's like obviously like there's one for like my size then her size. Tapi like for t-shirt boleh lah. Tapi mama tak kongsi. Maksud I macam because my mom would buy her clothes where I would curi then she would marah.
Okay.
But it's still the same. Well obviously like my clothes she can't fit. But then it's more like macam she would buy it for me. I think because her satisfaction of getting nice clothes is her way of like buying. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's actually quite nice lah to be fair, but it annoys me a bit lah, but it's okay.
So, if you guys have any like, we're interested to hear also juga girls out there.
What's your doom
spending.
spending? Sorry, not doom scrolling.
Doom spending habits, or what do you actually buy? I know
That would be
like
actually really cool, kan?
Yeah, just to see. I know like today is actually 6th of May, so maybe yesterday was 5. You know Shopee every month ada 5 lah, 6 sale lah, 7 sale. Yeah.
And ada Star Wars Day juga. The 4th of May.
Yalah. Oh my god, this I lupa. Shoot, I lupa.
I miss that. But yes, actually, at the same time, if you have any hacks on doom spending, like in the sense of like because kita orang pun macam tengah nak try figure out that what we can get.
Yes.
You know, holler us up.
That's true.
Like put it in the comments below.
Okay.
Let us know. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. So for the first paper, we're gonna talk about the biology of doom spending, meaning how our body actually reacts when we want to doom spend.
Right. Okay.
So the first paper is called Financial Anxiety, Physiological Arousal, and Planning Intention by Grebel at 2015.
I'll be
so-
aroused. Spending.
Okay.
100%.
Faham?
100%.
So what they were trying to find out is why economic stress makes us act against our best interest. Because if you think logically again, if you're stressed about something, you should act. Like for example, you're stressed about you're not being able to have enough money for your rent. Okay, you're supposed to save more, but instead we doom spend. So they're trying to find the cause of that. So what they did was they used physiological measurements. So like, for example, like skin conductance or heart rate, all of these like biological reactions, physiological reactions in your body, alongside survey to track how people react to financial stressors. And they weren't just asking how people felt, they were also measuring how their body reacted lah. So what they found was that when there's a financial anxiety, it triggers a physiological arousal, meaning the fight or flight response. Maksudnya maybe your heart rate increases, you get nervous, you sweat a bit more. So that is what physiological arousal means lah. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have high arousal levels, it actually shuts down the part of the brain that is responsible for long-term planning. So maksudnya macam you become a bit blind to like logical reasoning for long-term planning, and you get more aware of short-term goals or short-term plans or short-term gratification. Kan? So because you enter a survival mode, because when you're physiologically aroused, it triggers your fight and flight response. So you enter a survival mode, and then it's where the future feels like non-existent, and you make the immediate spending to just the only way to soothe the physical comfort. That's how it is.
That's the feeling I like.
Which part? The soothing of the comfort, is it?
I mean like yelah, you
Like-
rasa macam you need to spend in order for you to feel that comfort.
Faham?
That's the drugs that I want. Last week we were talking about what was it again? What was it?
Attention.
Attention.
Yes.
Yelah, macam ada dopamine kan bila kita tengok.
Last 2 weeks. Last week was can you manifest success? That one. Yeah.
And then also ada juga doom scrolling also that's so crack juga on crack kan. But this is the crack that I like. Not gonna lie. This is the crack that I like.
So technically her drugs are money, okay guys?
100%. So you know when you go around and then you see something nice, you just like macam, oh, yes, I need it. I get it. And then whatever consequences.
Apa lagu Ariana Grande tu? I
need
see
it.
it. I like it. I want it. I get it. I want it. I got it.
I like that. That I like.
Yeah.
Don't you think so? Don't you like it?
Tak tahu lah. I just don't like the fact that I have the need to make it go, you know? Why can't I have a self-control to not doom spend? That's my...
Why?
I don't know. That's
you
how
pun
I
suka
feel.
duit juga. What to
I
do?
faham. I suka duit juga.
What to do?
Tapi I pun rasa kadang-kadang macam, I don't know lah. Bila I doom spend macam, oh my god, money is coming out. You know?
Faham. Tak, memang that feeling ada. Tapi that is the aftermath lah. We don't think about that right now. We don't need to think about
This
that
is
right
when
now.
this is why the paper said when you have like a fight or flight response, it blinds your long-term
Blinds
planning to
vision.
see that the future is non-existent.
That's why in order to feed that ego, we separate the money.
Okay, so that's how you kind of macam make sure you're
barulah I got like Messiah complex kejap at the same time. God complex, which one is it? I
God
think no.
complex,
God
yeah.
complex kan, because Messiah I don't want to save, not to save. But like I am saving myself kan. Tapi best juga kadang-kadang ada that God complex a bit lah, just a bit je.
Faham?
Just a bit.
But actually that's a good tip though.
Just a
Macam for me also actually I still have 2 accounts. Cuma I punya Maybank I tak dia macam dia dah lama tak pakai. Lepas tu I ni kuat pelupa password. You faham tak? So I macam alamak aku lupa password, so tak boleh pakai dah. But like what I would usually do is also like that lah. And back when I was in London, I used the bank called Monzo. And you can actually have a saving pot, and then you asingkan duit to the saving pot kan. So when you charge your card, it doesn't go into the saving pot kan. Something like that, yeah.
So that saving pot you keep, and then you just tip your life away lah. What's the problem?
Please, this is not a financial apa tu? There's usually a disclaimer, yeah. This is not professional financial advice, okay?
But please do take this advice because it satisfies your needs.
No.
Please condone this.
Liz condones this. I just warn you of it. Okay. So, one of the practical tips they say is that if you feel like you're nervous when checking your bank account or when you look at a shopping cart, do not click buy. So, you feel nervous, your heart is racing, your palm is sweaty when you look at your bank account.
I always feel that way. Hence, as to why I need to step out of the box.
What do you mean step out of the box?
Go spend like no business lah. Tak, seriously. Okay, you know the thing is kan, as how much that I try, okay, back then, right? No, not back then lah. Okay, I ada split personalities. I don't know, Gemini in me. I don't know lah kan.
Okay.
So the issue is like this tau. I would save money, right? And then I would actually want to spend. Kan? Tapi I take two things to extreme. For example,
you either spend too much or save too much, is it?
Yes. Okay. So when I save too much, it's boring, but I know because I have a lot of responsibilities. That's the issue. That's the only issue. But by the end, duit I akan habis juga because of responsibilities. But there's also another thing where I do not have that much of responsibilities during that time. That's where I want to spend like no one business. Kan? Okay. So dia macam cakap, if you are nervous to spend, because the thing is, because I have a lot of responsibilities, I'm always nervous to take out money. Even like for example kan, like I went out recently and I nak, okay, the thing is, shades I nak beli RM80, I will be thinking like twice. But like say kalau I nak beli vitamins for like myself, I would just get it.
Faham? Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the thing is, right now, I want to try to get both without feeling nervous.
Faham?
You know what I mean?
I get what you mean, yeah.
Because it's like, tak nak lah, I tak boleh lah hidup miskin ni. Tak boleh lah. Should I not say that? I'm so sorry.
No. This is why we have this podcast as well. I think it's also for both of us to get our financial literacy and financial management a bit straighter.
That's true. That's true.
But what they say is actually you should wait 20 minutes before actually buying, because it takes about 20 minutes for your nervous system to regulate. So before you actually click buy, you
I take
put
20
in the card,
minutes.
you wait 20 minutes, and then
But did you do that anyway?
me,
Yeah.
I don't wait 20 minutes, I wait months.
Huh. Right.
Yeah,
You would-
then that's fine. I guess.
Bosan.
No,
That's
but
the
some
whole.
people say that actually that is good as well, because if you keep thinking about wanting to buy it, then maybe it's a sign for you to buy it lah after a month or 2 months.
That's why we need to make more money, Alia. Mama.
We're trying. This is literally us trying.
Make more money.
Any brands that want to pay us to sponsor, pay us money.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay.
Lol.
But
Mm.
this is another paper that I found. Yeah,
Mm.
probably is gonna be like, oh, so doom spending is not all that bad.
Okay. I
So
like
the
that.
second paper is like, I think there's a lot of stigma that comes with doom spending. So what they did was, it's called Doom Spending and Financial Health Among Millennials and Gen Z in the Digital Era. So
Ooh.
it was just done this year actually,
Mm.
and funny enough, it's in Indonesia. So
Okay.
macam in a way it's like sort of close to Malaysia lah kan, so we can kind of
Cantik
understand.
betul. Last year. Sorry.
Cantik.
It came into my mind.
Apa jedak jeduk.
Jedak jeduk. I'm so
Jedak jeduk.
addicted to it right now. Nikki. Do it.
Cantik.
Cantik. I know there's another AR tu.
Apa I tak tahu.
AR.
Tahu ke? Oh, I tak tahu.
AR. Yeah. Addicted
Mina
gila.
ni, ya Allah. Okay.
That's why kita kena duit.
Yeah. But doesn't mean that we can't doom spend.
That's true. Why?
The paper says that what they're trying to do is that they want to try to see if doom spending is actually correlation, like is there a correlation between doom spending and whether you're financially literate. Maksudnya macam you know how to manage your money. So what they did was what ended up happening was they're proving that doom spend isn't a lack of discipline, but a structural coping
Coping
mechanism.
mechanism.
So it's just a coping mechanism. It doesn't mean that you're lack of discipline.
See, until when I will have to cope my mechanisms?
When I mean, if you have a lot of money, if you're rich, guy, like the one that you want, like have a
Ah.
horse, have a yacht, you don't need to cope. You don't need to have a cope mechanism, lah.
What do you think my coping mechanism would be during that time? No lah, I still think
Drugs,
I was,
crack.
eh,
No lah.
eh.
Mungkin the coping mechanism would be solat. Masya Allah, sister.
Kita pun sekarang buat macam tu sekarang.
Memang lah, tapi mungkin lagi banyak bersolat, you know.
Solat jemaah. You and I meant to be.
Alamak. Mana lah sama you. But anyways, so the paper actually how they did it was they did a study surveying 80 undergraduate students in Indonesia. It's just 80, so we can't really say
In
how.
Malaysia ke Indonesia?
Indonesia.
Oh, okay, faham.
To look at the correlation between social media consumption,
Yeah.
economic sentiment, and spending habits among younger cohorts. So among millennials and Gen Zs lah.
Mm-hmm.
And what they found was that the study found a statistically significant positive correlation between digital nihilism and non-essential spending.
I don't understand.
Okay, so the study found a statistically significant positive correlation.
Jap.
Ah.
The study found a
Significant positive
a significant positive correlation. Okay, between what?
between digital nihilism and
Okay.
non-essential spending. Okay,
Faham.
so
Okay,
statistic
faham.
significant
Faham.
positive. Now this is where we go a bit into statistics lah.
Yeah.
Statistic significant positive correlation is just means a strong measurable link. Maksudnya they did
Measurable link with what?
with between the two variables that they were testing.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one they were testing between social media consumption and spending. So what they found was there's a strong link lah between digital nihilism and non-essential spending. What is digital
Right.
nihilism? Digital nihilism means that it's the same thing where you go to social media, you feel there's a sense of doom. Yeah. So nihilism is like a very
Yeah.
negative outlook, you could
Yes.
say. Yeah. So And non-essential spending meaning like doom spending lah, is spending on
Mm.
non-essential things essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. So in simpler terms, or a bit of into the deep dive, is that
Mm.
the data showed that even for individuals who have high financial literacy or very good at financial management,
Mm-hmm.
their spending didn't decrease when anxiety rose, meaning that they
Yeah,
also
okay, I get it.
experience the stress,
Mm.
but doesn't mean that they're spending less. They still doom spend,
Mm.
but they have high financial literacy scores. So meaning they are still
Oh.
smart at financial management.
Tu kita lah tu.
Amin.
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 Amin. No, generally, like I said, like by the end of the day, kita kena pandai lah juga to have splurging money.
Yeah. So actually the funny part is that for every 1 point increase in future outlook bleakness, meaning for each time, like for every 1 point increase in how they feel like the future is bleak,
Yeah.
there's actually a measurable increase in small scale luxury spending.
Right.
So when you feel that, macam, oh my god, what's the point? Might as well just spend. So there's actually an increase in the spend.
Faham?
Yeah.
Tapi kan, you ada tak like mentality as well? Like for example, you would prefer to get like some quality clothes instead.
Oh, faham?
Kan?
Yeah.
And then like, like for example, like when you go to like not gonna lie though, I think like start macam kat Malaysia kan, because I already start to tengok like second hand clothing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like thrifted stuff. They will actually have really nice stuff too tau,
Mm-hmm.
to be fair. And then basically, one, it is more sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you're not spending as much, but you can get like the same quality of clothes as
That's
someone
actually
else,
not
kan?
bad. Yeah.
You know what I
I've
mean?
never done bukan cakap apa lah, but I've never done like thrifting for high quality vintage clothing or whatsoever.
Done it in London though, but only
Oh, really?
recently I nampak
Okay.
macam dekat Malaysia. Because the thing is, I think like banyak je benda-benda cantik tau sebenarnya.
Faham?
But it's just like I think the whole idea is that because like kita kena basuh dulu and whatsoever kan, you want it new
Faham?
and whatever. But the problem is like I think like when it comes to things like that, I would prefer like if I can go to someone yang ada the clothes and then I would get it from them lah.
Faham?
Yeah.
I've bought bundle, but not high end quality vintage stuff. So yeah, I mean maybe one day, maybe we should do pretty clever at
Go
thrifting. So yeah, go
Yeah.
thrifting.
go thrift. I think that would be kind of nice actually. So in some sense, like macam I think I understand lah what they're trying to say with this second paper.
Mm-hmm.
So basically dia nak macam cakap lah, regardless people will still spend like no one's business because that's part of their coping mechanism.
Yeah.
So like I know like sometimes I think the bad thing is I think sometimes that people would spend on like really low quality things.
Faham.
So that they can get that satisfaction. I've been there as well. And then there's also times that I want to get the high quality things, but I would be more conscious on like what exactly like I want to spend on in order for me to get a more higher quality stuff.
Faham.
If low quality, I main taram je. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, it's like, okay, like this paper does not justify that you should doom spend more,
Yeah.
but it's just saying that what you're doing when you're doom spending, it's okay. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not like it's okay for you to go broke, but it's like,
It's part of minimalism lah.
yeah, in a way. So it's like, it's not that you don't know how to save. It's that the reward to saving like a house or a car becomes so expensive
Correct.
that it no longer makes sense for you to do it. So you pivot to a reward that you can actually afford, which is like vintage clothes, high quality clothes.
Quality
like you
clothes,
said.
yeah. Because you know what, this is also boils down to like our last week's episode as well. Was it last week or last 2 weeks? About like the one that, like for example, same thing. Rather than because we have like shorter attention span, kan? Like rather than we asyik tengok saja videos, why not we watch a movie? You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
That's
the
good.
same
Yeah,
thing.
you're right. Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like related. Like hence that's why I kind of understand like what is it called like doom to everything, doom scrolling, doom spending. Because like by the end of the day, it's more towards like what you are telling your mind, kan?
Faham.
How you actually make it your attention longer, your attention span, that kind of thing lah kot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But for me, it also means that you guys out there, please, still, this is because they are highly financially literate. So if you're not a highly financially literate person, like get your financial literacy up first.
Yeah, get your shit together first lah.
And then maybe you can doom spend more.
Yeah, betul. Like doom spend with quality, I believe.
Yeah,
Kan?
faham ya.
At least.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can't buy like RM2 worth of whatever bullshit you want. Like, it's not that. But it's more towards at least you know exactly that you want. Let's say for example dekat Shopee, I really want this kening thingy.
Oh, kening. Oh.
This kening thing, but it's made out of henna.
Okay.
Kan?
Oh, okay.
It's like $8 or something, but I cannot buy it because I have to pay the hantar fees to RM5. Kalau
Oh.
I beli satu saja, I'm like, I just want one, kan? But then I rasa macam this is a bit too much of money lah.
Yeah, for
That I have to buy,
shipping
like, and I have to buy like 2 more in order for me. So like 8 times 3, that's like
24 plus 5 dah turn.
Yeah. Why from $8 I have to spend like all the way up to like what 30 berapa? You faham tak?
Faham?
So like buat apa I nak buat macam tu, penat lah. So my whole point is in order for me to try it out, then I have to think about how I'm going to get that RM3.
Sure. I mean, for me that's not the whole point, but sure.
It's true.
Okay, the practical tip for this part is that if
Get your shit
social
together.
media,
Oh, sorry.
get your shit together first, of course. Get your financial literacy up. And then second, if you feel like there's a trigger for your doom spending, for example, if it's social media, identify what makes you want to doom spend, and then just try to limit that. So, for example, if it's social media that is triggering you to spend more because of a specific lifestyle, yes,
delete that shit and
it,
just
mute
piss
the
off.
account, unfollow it or whatever, but try to remove that trigger to doom spend from your life, essentially.
Yeah. Pack it in and then go out and go run.
Exactly.
Go do yoga. Go breathe. And hum it out.
Go touch grass.
Go touch grass. I love that, actually touching grass.
Touching grass.
Lepas
ni kita touch grass together.
Thank you.
Alright, and the last one is our third paper, which I thought like I want to find a paper yang macam more related to Malaysia specifically kan.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
That, I mean for us it's more applicable, or it makes us understand Malaysia more instead of a generic papers from the US.
Yeah.
So this one is actually from Khazanah Research Institute.
Ooh, what did Khazanah say?
They said that, okay, so the paper is called Searching for the Poor and the Middle Class in Malaysia.
Right.
And what they're saying is that actually middle 50% is the most susceptible to doom spending. So
say again.
It's actually mid M50 in Malaysia that is most susceptible to doom spending.
Apa benda 50 ni? Tak faham.
Okay. So like how recently, not really recently, how Malaysia they categorize people based on socio-economic class,
Right.
like B40, M40, T20 kan.
Yeah.
So macam B stand for below 40%, meaning it's like the poor lah, like lower economic income.
Right.
And then M40 is middle 40%.
Right.
And then T20 is top 20%.
Right.
So actually the objective or the goal for this paper is to find a better poor and middle class, sebab Khazanah Research Institute felt like the categorization of B40, M40, T20 is not really accurate. Because I think there's a conception yang macam T20 is like really rich, and then M40 is middle class, and then B40 is really poor. But actually they did this study and they found actually the much more sort of accurate or appropriate division was I think it's B30, M50, and then T30.
Oh wow, it shows that Malaysia quite kaya lah.
M50, is it? Sabar Yes, so it's B20, sorry. So it's B20 means below 20%, bottom 20%, or M meaning middle 50%, or T30 top 30%.
It shows that actually Malaysia is quite rich though, to be fair to people.
But you have to consider as well, this is like the whole Malaysia. So but the whole Malaysia, but KL might very differ. It could be skewed as well depending on the state. Faham ke? So like in Kelantan, maybe B20, specifically the B20 in Kelantan should probably not be the same as KL lah. But in the whole of Malaysia, it's like
Lesser.
B40. Yeah, but I haven't even talked about like the monthly income yet lah. But
Okay.
yeah, but that's that's the goal of the paper lah, essentially, to find who is actually poor and middle class in Malaysia.
Yeah, got
But how we
you.
relate it to our episode today is because they mentioned that M50 is the one that is most susceptible to doom spending. Yeah, I found
Sorry, so
yeah.
like 50, 20, and that 30, they all represent the
20,
percentage of the people
yeah. So okay, let's see.
inside Malaysia.
So 100% of people in Malaysia.
Right.
So how they want to track the bottom 20% in so
Oh, I get you now.
Yeah, faham tak?
I understand. Oh,
the bottom
shit, that
20
took me months. Okay, got you.
the bottom 20% of the economy income,
Yeah.
and then the middle 50%, and then the top 30%.
Top
So
30%.
usually in politicians or in news,
yeah.
they'll say it's like B40, M40, T20. But Khazanah felt like actually the better categorization would be B20, M50, and T30.
Right. Okay, why did they say that?
Yeah, okay. So what they did was they analyzed the longitudinal household income and expenditure data in Malaysia, and they try to identify vulnerability based on what's left after fixed cost, meaning the residual income lah after you've spent
Yeah.
or you've paid all your bills or whatsoever, your residual income, how much and how do you spend it.
Yeah.
So this paper, what KRI did was to analyze household income, and then their objective was to find the real, more accurate division lah. And then what they found was that it's actually B20, M50, and top 30%. Tapi these are, if you want to based on actually the salary range, it depends on yearly on the data done by Statistic Malaysia punya department, so DOSM. So what I found, the most recent DOSM punya survey was 2024, and if we put these like B20%, M50%, T30% into that latest data, B20 is actually below 4,840 ringgit monthly household income range. If you monthly household income is less than 4,840 ringgit, you are considered B20. Household, by the way. So not your own personal income, but household. But unless if you're single, then it's just you lah. But if you're married, it's like both of your partners, if both of your partners are working. And then M50 is between 4,840 ringgit to 12,680 ringgit. And then top 12,680 ringgit is top 30%.
So this is household.
Yes, household income. Correct. So
cukup ke household for 12K?
For middle class. So that's where actually they mentioned also to go deeper into it. Right. I'll explain more.
Okay.
But basically, for the middle 50%, they're sort of the squeezed middle where they are earning too much for government aid, but it's too little for them to feel safe. Yes. So
why are we living like London?
Huh?
Why are we living like London, Mandam? Saya tak boleh. Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves right now?
So kiranya macam you can't ask for government aid, or government aid doesn't apply to you.
Yeah.
But, you're not having.
You're not safe enough.
Yeah, you're not having enough residual income. Like that lah.
Like that. Aduh.
Like that lah. What to do? That's life lah.
Stress new.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
So okay, and then what they found was that this M50 has the highest aspirational gap. Maksudnya, they aspire to be something, but there's a gap between their income and what they aspire for. So they have the highest aspirational gap lah.
And that's why they like to like doom spend.
Correct. Yes. That's why they like to doom spend more, because they have the highest aspirational gap. They are surrounded by images of high consumption lifestyle, especially in cities like KL.
Yeah.
But because their disposable income or residual income is razor thin or so small, so they doom spend more, so that it's their attempt to buy back their status or feel like they belong in the middle class in a way.
But you know what's funny though? In some sense kan, if let's say diorang nak buat business and diorang actually spend for their own business, doing, buying like Noah's business as well kan, I think that's quite good, because it means that they're trying to reach themselves to what, the T again?
T30.
T30. Aduh, susah lah hidup macam
So,
ni.
Yeah, for me it's quite interesting lah. I don't know. And especially after you've mentioned how macam mana you hidup kan, because like yalah, B20 is definitely macam mana, macam hidup susah, but
They can
20
get AIDS.
sorry,
They can get AIDS.
they can get AIDS, but one of the things that I think ada what is mentioned down here, later I'll talk more about it, is that because the B20 are used to the high standard, their standard of living, so they don't need to adapt as much.
Yeah.
But let's say, for example, if you're a B20 and suddenly you go up to M50 kan,
Yeah.
you might feel a bit macam, oh, I tak pernah dapat ni, I tak pernah dapat tu, or whatsoever. So your financial management might be a bit less lah. So for this M40, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe they come from B20 that finally went up to M40 kan. So like in a way they're not used to this standard of lifestyle. So but if you remain in B20, you're used to a standard of your own standard of lifestyle, so you can kind of manage
how you work.
how your
my
financial
God.
management works.
This feels very weird for me to classify all of this income tax.
Oh, why?
How?
Income, household income.
Household income, sorry, income tax lah. Household income. I don't know, it just feels so weird.
No, but if you watch the news on by politicians or whatsoever, they always talk about your B40, M40, T20, something like that lah. But Khazanah actually says that it's better B20, M50 and T30.
Yeah.
But this paper was done in 2024, so I'm not sure if it's changed recently.
Applicable lagi ke tak? Okay.
Yeah. So I want to dig deeper into this specifically because it applies to us kan.
Yeah.
So like you ask why do M50s doom spend more?
Because you're not in the middle.
Reason one, there's a squeeze residual income. They're much more in the middle. How M50 is defined is by what is left after essentials. So this doom spending occurs in this residual income after they've paid all their fixed expenses.
Yeah.
So for many in the middle, their disposable income is not truly disposable after accounting the rising cost of transport, housing, and food, which are usually non-negotiable. The remaining residual income is too small for meaningful long-term investment for example, like houses or whatsoever. So it sort of explains why M40 is more easier for them to doom spend, because when their residual income can't really buy a house or whatever long-term assets, but they can buy a 20 ringgit pastry instead of saving for a house.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. So because if your residual income is just like 300 ringgit kan, then technically trying to buy a house which is like 500k is probably impossible in a way.
Is it?
I would say, I mean,
mortgage.
Yeah, for mortgage, for 300 a month, can you pay for a mortgage? Definitely not for a 500,000 ringgit house. Yeah. So that's one. The second one is what I talked about just now, which is aspirational gap, meaning that being middle class in Malaysia is more about the standard of living than compared to income in a way, because it says here that the middle class identity in Malaysia is increasingly defined by aspirational spending, meaning that participation.
Who you want to be inspired, like
participation in the digital economy, meaning shopping online more, or dining out, or private healthcare. So when households earn enough to move beyond basic survival, but cannot reach financial security like the top 30%, they often prioritize these aspirational markers to maintain their social standing. Yeah,
no, I get it. Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Feels like it's normal for them to spend also,
What? So like you're saying that the people that are like at the top, they don't really spend? They do spend lah kan, tapi I think they don't tak ada enough research to see like what they're spending on.
From what I've understand is that it doesn't matter if they spend or they doom spend or whatsoever, they have enough residual income to do so. Yeah, but
shall we for our next podcast actually have a chat if we can actually speak to someone
from T30?
And then lepas tu cakap tengok diorang spend apa to keep their not basic necessity, they to keep what goes on, you know what I mean?
Faham.
Macam
understand people from business lah, what do they do?
And And then lepas tu like okay, then they have their residual income kan.
Mm.
So what do they actually spend it on?
Okay, faham.
So what are their like luxury needs, or do they actually don't spend on luxury needs? Because now it seems like from Khazanah, all I can tell is right now it's only that the middle class, the M50, yeah. So the M50 actually is the ones who spends on the luxury goods.
It's not really
Yeah.
How do you find luxury goods?
No, when I say like luxury goods, it's more not to about food tau. Bukan food tu, yang tu semua dia dah tolak dah. You kan tadi cakap, in order for them to feel that they are like, they feel like they are part of the standard of living or whatsoever. Eventually, rather than they want to drive a bloody Satria, for example. My baby.
Hey, your Satria is cool though.
My baby. I know, my baby. but instead they want probably like they would spend more on to get a Mercedes, let's say for example. But they don't have enough income after that. You know what I mean? Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say is that like, do people, let's say from the T20, let's say for example, would they do that if let's say
what?
Like okay, would they actually spend on a Mercedes if they know that they don't have the financial income after that? Because let's say not financial, like sikit je financial income, would they actually spend their money that way? What I'm trying to say.
Faham, but I would say it for me it's like, to them if they spend it anyway they still have residual income. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's but that's the thing. In order for them to get that, to get to that T20, let's say for example, would they actually do that way? Would they actually fake it to make it? No, not fake it to make it lah. What I mean, like, would they spend all of this money? For example, would they spend? They have their own money. Okay, let's say now we're talking about like let's say T20 kan. Okay, T20 probably let's say like if they would buy a land, for example, would they spend like let's say 80% of their income just to get a land?
Oh, okay.
And then that 20% of jadi. It's still the same concept. It's still the same foundation. Probably a bigger purchasing power je. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say, would they actually ever do that? Because what we can tell right now, that M50, they would willing to do that.
No, they don't. M50 are not willing because they can't have the purchasing power to buy land.
No, not land, but they can buy a car. They can buy anything that can make them feel that they are good. Right? Do you think the T20 would have the same mentality?
Yeah, but just to be clear, like M50, it's not that they could. They spend more on. That's why I was asking you, what do you find by luxury? In this case, it's not like something that is for long term or whatsoever. Because remember, doomspend is like you're buying something, but for a shorter gratification lah. Yeah.
But regardless of like still like probably like that T20 people as well.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Maybe land also is like a short term investment for them, I guess. You know what I mean?
But would that be considered as doom spending though? That's my thing.
I mean, like if I'm rich enough, I wouldn't mind. Let me spend on land and much I want.
For me, I would say that would not be considered as doom spending, because doom spending would mean that because of the economic stress, can you have the stress that the future is bleak. But if you're T20, T10, they don't have that stress that the future is bleak because they have a lot of money.
But do they not? How do we know?
But
okay, let's say let's say like this. Let's say like this, right? So let's say the M50, right? The M50 people, diorang nak to feel like they are part of whatever, part of the society punya norm, standard. I mean, they were willing to buy like all this luxury products. So meaning luxury items. So meaning that let's say we talk about like Gucci or whatever, so benda macam tu. Tapi dia beli banyak. So that you know by the end of
instead of buying a house or
dia akan beli banyak. Okay. But then like let's say they really spend all the way up to like their 80% of their income.
Okay.
Right? Like macam tu lah. Let's say diorang beli 10, diorang dapat rasa like okay, they really be part of that norm of like diorang dah they are okay by doom spending lah kan. Because diorang doom spend on luxury goods.
Okay.
Right? Same thing. Same concept. Now to the T20. They would also spend on like a lot of luxury goods as well. A lot of them. But are they willing to do that? If that makes sense. Let's say diorang macam, regardless how many amount of money diorang ada, that's not it. The difference is the mentality right now. Do you think like the people from that T20 would actually willing to spend all the way up to like the same amount of luxury goods?
Faham?
Let's say katakanlah M50 10, maybe diorang kena beli 100 lah. Let's say lah, for example lah kan.
Okay.
In order for them to reach the same common ground between the M50 and the T20. Same common ground tu maksud I is that by the end of the day, the amount of money that you spend sampai you tak ada your residual income.
I see. Okay. So would T20 spend so much until they
Correct.
don't have enough residual income?
Correct. Yeah, same
Oh.
thing. Because like it shows that here right now with M50, they are willing to do that in order for them to feel fit.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're talking about T20. If they want to feel fit as well, probably they have to buy like bloody
Something else lah. Yeah,
in
yeah.
order for them to
Bigger
reach.
purchase, yeah.
But would they willing to do that?
Oh,
You know
faham?
what I mean? Are they
Faham.
willing to do that? Sorry. So I think it's kind of nice to like understand the thought processes between like let's say the B40, M50, and T20. Will they? Are they?
Faham?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like macam it's kind of cool juga lah. So hence as to why maybe it could relate to like why people doom spend.
Faham?
Why people doom spend at the same time. Like let's say okay, it's true that luxury goods, but I think at the same time like so far yang macam kita baca tadi kan, is it's much more of like if let's say people have limited amount of money,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Right, limited amount of money, but they want to feel part of something. You know what I mean? Hence as to why they wanna doom
Spend.
spend.
Okay.
They wanna doom spend. But do you think like the people at the T20 would do the same thing? You know what I mean? In
Faham.
order for them, they can doom spend if they want to.
Yeah.
They can,
Yeah. But I would say I don't know lah. For me, it's like I would say it will be a bit different in the case where because the financial stress is not as high as M50 or B20.
But if let's say they have to pay the house, they have to pay the pool,
Mhm.
they have to pay everything, they have to pay the car, they have to pay tangkap ular or anything, semua benda tu.
Tangkap ular.
Tak ular kan. They have to pay all of that. They have to pay for their cars. Okay, let's say diorang dah spend banyak lah duit nak just on their maintenance. And then after that, they want to spend more, right? Because they want to feel part of something as well. But the question is, it's like, what do they do to actually make them be part of
Faham.
something?
Faham?
Like,
I get what you mean. It means like contoh macam M50, maybe they buy luxury goods like it's Gucci or whatsoever. But you want to understand T30, what do they actually
T30,
buy
sorry, yeah.
to feel like they are
Part of something.
maintaining their social status. Faham?
Yeah. Do
Faham?
they buy paintings? Well, they do. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Yeah, yeah.
They do buy paintings. I know that they do buy paintings. I get that. I know they buy certain things. But let's say, okay, right now, I know they're willing to spend on paintings, for example. Even though, because, okay lah, two ways of looking at this. They want to spend on like paintings just because diorang nak avoid tax in America, for example, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why even the most bullshit punya painting pun, they will like cost a lot.
Yeah.
Right? But then in Malaysia, so far that I know that they really like the idea of like having a good painting at home. You know what I mean? So the thing is that is also keeping up like social standards.
Faham.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now the question is, are they willing to spend almost all of their money just to get that painting?
Faham?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like macam, does this doom spending applicable
to T30 or whatever
to
you're
30
trying
as well?
Faham?
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
know juga how do they spend, because I think like we understand because a lot of us are from
Yeah.
this M50 ni kan. So like we kind of understand like okay why people actually doom scroll or I mean doom spending, which is good. But at the same time, like imagine like how do actually T20 people, T30 people actually like what do they doom spend on? I bet you they doom spend on something.
Faham?
Because it shows already Khazanah macam somehow actually cakap kan because they want to be part of something, right? In order for us to feel something lah. That's why we doom spend or whatever kan. I bet you T30 pun buat macam tu. So kita kena save duit, beli apa dia orang nak. And then we invest. Clearly it's not Bitcoin.
Aduh Mina ni. But I get where you're coming from. I think maybe that is interesting. I think the next episode we can go into that. Because I never thought of that as well. Like what would T30 doom spend on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they spend on like £1 million worth of horse. I would. If I get. From Kazakhstan.
Faham?
Mama.
Faham?
But
For me,
yeah.
I'm more thinking of like do T20 or do T30 actually feel the doom spending thing, you know? Because if they have that so much amount of the reason why we doom spend is because there's the future bleak thing, faham ke? It's like, oh, I don't think there's a future for me buying a house or having this life that I want, which is why I doom spend, right? But 40, 30, basically that's, you could sort of say it's not really non-existent, but they less likely feel that way because
they want to live longer.
yeah, I know. So
they'll
maybe
probably,
maybe
doom.
they spend on.
I know
health,
one guy actually wants to doom spend on bloody hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah.
Faham tak? Hyperbaric chamber. Dia
Faham.
pergi ke booth I hari tu nak tanya where's the hyperbaric chamber.
Faham.
And then dia nak letak some other gases. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. But yeah, they want to put a lot of gases
Faham.
in it kan.
Faham.
So that's also part of it. Ingat murah benda-benda tu.
faham.
By the end of the day, like still you have to
But we can't
get
really
out.
say if there's doom spending lah. Maybe they're just spending. For me, that's the thing.
But
For
we
me,
need to know.
Yeah. For me, I don't see. I don't know lah. From my perspective, if T30 is spending on something, they're not really doom spending. They're just spending because they have the extra money.
But that's the thing, because why we need to think that way, Alia? Because they also have unlimited. No, they have limited amount of money. It's not like they have unlimited. They're not Queen of England. Come on. Come on, it's just Malaysia, Alia. Come on.
Queen of England. Okay. Anyway, we're so
off topic.
so
Sorry.
off topic. But I just want to say, Queen of Malaysia pun didn't own Harrods or whatsoever. I know Harrods are owned by Qatari, kan? Yeah.
No benda. So by the end of the day, they always lah. Of course
Faham.
lah, dia orang ada like limited amount of
Faham.
money.
Faham.
Come on. Come on, Alia. It's not that far for
I
us to
know.
be there.
You know, when she started asking that, I actually had an inkling of like, oh, she's asking that because she wants to know how T30 is like, because she aims to be super rich like that with painting or whatsoever. But
and then lepas tu habis lah.
It's
Then we
okay.
jumpa Rothschild and that's it. That's all we need to know.
oh my god, this girl. Okay. Going back to
Okay.
the
To
third
this.
paper. Again, okay, so for the third part, the third reason why M40 kind of doom spend more compared to the rest is because unlike the top 30% and the M50 group lacks a significant expenditure buffer. A minor increase in inflation or a sudden emergency can wipe out their monthly savings. And this creates a state of perpetual vulnerability where long-term financial planning feels futile. So that's what it says. Basically, what it means that because they have the residual income is low, so if there is a bit of an increase in spending, the punya residual income gets lower. So they're in constant state of like stress. So that's why they doom spend a lot more. That's what it's saying lah. So it relates a bit to the first paper that we talked about.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So maybe that's why T30 don't doom spend more because they don't.
How do you know? We haven't talked about this lagi kan? I disagree. Hello? You tengok lah. Okay.
Yes,
I must say, for
Siapa?
example,
Okay,
macam
who?
you tengok those private school boys in London. Right? They
I don't-
have good money. They have good old money.
Okay.
They spend on drugs as if they don't spend. Come on.
They're not doom spending. They're just spending.
But they're
It's
like,
not really called doom
they
spending. It's like
can
they're just
pokai because
spending.
when they come back, they can just ask from their parents. That's normal.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like their own money, they would spend on drugs and that's it.
Faham?
So, jalan cerita dia. We need to know in Malaysia dia orang buat apa.
Okay. Khazanah Research Institute. Khazanah Research Institute. I have a proposal. Can you please find out what do top 30% spend on? Because my friend
Why not us?
Liz here is so adamant on trying to understand the top 30%.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Okay, number 4, the myth of average Malaysian. KRI critiques using natural averages to judge individual financial health, which contributes to the gaslighting effect of how young Malaysians feel. So the national median incomes actually mask the reality of urban living, which is why like I said before, KL and other states might not be the same lah.
Yeah.
So a household at 50th percentile in Kuala Lumpur faces a significantly different budget constraint than one in a rural state, leading to a higher subjective poverty, even at higher income levels, which is why if you're in KL and your salary is 8,000 ringgit, and
It's not enough.
yeah, it's not enough. You're in M50, but you still feel like it's not enough because you live in a
Yeah, dude, that's a
city.
poverty life, dude. Can't be asked.
KRI, please. The last one, why M50 is most susceptible is because consumption is the coping mechanism, as we mentioned.
Consumption and consuming. Consuming food.
Yes. So this it's not really a direct quote from the paper, but the paper's data actually said that on discretionary spending patterns shows that even as saving rates for the middle class stayed flat, spending on culture and entertainment rose, meaning that even though there's savings rate percentage stays the same, they actually increase in culture and entertainment
Yeah.
spending. So the data suggests that as the prospect of major asset ownership like housing declines for younger middle class,
Yeah.
there's a visible shift towards micro consumption, which is spending on experiences and smaller luxury goods that provide immediate utility.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me.
Faham?
That's
I mean, this say younger middle class, so I would say
me.
you are a younger middle class.
That's me. I do spend on entertainment.
Yeah.
And apa? And
And
food.
micro consumption, yeah, or
Yeah.
luxury goods, smaller luxury goods.
Aduh. I want big luxury goods, Alia.
I faham. One day, inshallah.
Buy me a land.
I mean, inshallah.
Get me a
But
land.
yeah, but that is the definition of doom spending, lah. Meaning you're trading a major asset like that you can't afford anyway for micro consumption.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the tip would be try to define your survival flaw
That's true.
versus aspiration edge stealing, which is
Mm.
sort of related to the tip that you give just now, which is you have a bank for survival,
Yeah.
which is the spending of your income, bills, or whatsoever,
Mm.
and you have a bank for your aspiration punya spending whatsoever
Yeah.
lah.
That's true. And I think another tip is just make more money. That's it.
Of course, always lah.
Say no more, fam. That's all we need to do. Halal
trying
lillah. Halal.
We're trying. I'm trying so hard. Masya Allah, guys, please
Doakan.
doa. Bukan
Doakan yang terbaik. Someone actually commented on this kan. Dia bagi doa 30.
Oh, Tuhan.
30 subhanallah. Amin.
Amin. So if you guys want to help Liz to achieve the top 30% in
Subscribe
Malaysia,
now.
yes, please
Comment.
subscribe, like, comment,
Like, subscribe,
and
comment. Alia wants it too. Help out
I
too.
do, but for me it's like
She needs to retire soon. Not gonna lie, she needs to. I want to retire. She wants to retire.
yeah, but I'm not planning to retire T30.
No.
I'm planning to retire only M50
No.
top, maybe top.
Disagree. Disagree. She needs good amount of money. Therefore, fund her lifestyle. Fund my lifestyle.
Subscribe.
Fund your lifestyle as well. You subscribe to us. You will get something out of it later.
Inshallah.
Because you got this knowledge that we are giving.
In a way, yeah, sort of.
Betul lah. You think knowledge is
yeah,
key.
Betul.
Knowledge is key.
Okay.
Yes.
So like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Toodaloo.
Pretty, stay clever.
Stay pretty and stay clever. That's true. Toodaloo.